Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a series of videos today that I was definitely not planning on doing as I considered myself basically on maternity leave, but then Donald Trump decided to up and get himself impeached, so kind of got to cover, kind of got to take a break from that. Yeah, so we're doing that thing, and let's just go with it and see where this takes us. The first video I'm going to do, and I'm going to break it down to a series of videos that explain each individual thing. I want to talk about the classified memo. It's basically memo of telephone conversation, and it's right there, so you can see that I'm actually reading it. It's the actual one. I'm reading from the actual one before the Trump trolls come in the comments and say that I'm not reading the actual transcript, which again, it is not the transcript. It is a memo of the transcript. They cherry-picked pieces that they thought made them look the best and then put it out, and it still makes them look like garbage. I'd like to see the whole transcript because I have a feeling that it is really, really, really bad. And the reason I'm doing this one is it's going to back up when we cover the reports, and then we're going to talk about impeachment itself in a separate video. So let's just jump into the first part. And I'm not going to read this whole thing. Like, this first sections here talk about his victory, President Zelensky's victory, which wasn't actually a victory. He won back in May. This was his party's victory in a general election. It was Trump's excuse for calling so that he could do what he was going to do. And the Ukrainians have admitted that they knew that looking into Hunter and Joe Biden and the DNC servers was a prerequisite for this phone call for them to even sit down to the table to get the military aid that Trump had put on hold. We know this. This is fact. This is not debatable. That's just facts. The Ukrainian side has admitted to it. Trump's administration has basically admitted to it. It's just fact. So let's discuss it. Okay, so I'm going to start where it becomes questionable. Okay, well, yes. Okay, so this is from President Zelensky. Well, yes, to tell you the truth, we are trying to work hard. We wanted to drain the swamp. Here in our country, we brought in many, many new people, not old politicians, not typical politicians, because we want a new format. We want a type of government. You are a great teacher for us on that. That is just kissing Trump's butt. They want their military aid. Okay? And then they're like, well, it's very nice of you to say that. This is President Trump. This is very nice of you to say that. I will say that we do a lot for the Ukraine. This is where he is setting up the quid pro quo that people say does not exist. This is where he's setting up, look at everything we do for you. We're getting nothing in return. Now do me a favor. And I'll get into that in a minute. But I want to set that up here, be very clear that this is him setting up the picture that he is talking about what we do for them and how much he wants. You'll see. Okay. Well, it's very nice of you to say that. I will say that we do a lot for Ukraine. We spend a lot of effort and a lot of time, much more than the European countries are doing. And they should be helping you more than they are. Germany does almost nothing for you. All they do is talk. And I think it's something about, I think it's something that you should really ask them about. When I was speaking to Angela Merkel, she said she talks Ukraine, but she doesn't do anything. A lot of European countries are the same way. So I think it's something you want to look at. But the United States has been very good to the Ukraine, which is not true, by the way. The European Union has done quite a bit for the Ukraine. Once again, Donald Trump is trying to set up we want something from you. Let's keep talking. I want something from you. I'm trying to set up how much good I've done for you, which he hasn't really done all that much good. That was an Obama administration thing. That's not the point. Obama and Congress did that. Okay. I wouldn't say that it's reciprocal necessarily because things are happening that are not good, but the United States has been very good to the Ukraine. So that is his way of hinting, hint, hint, wink, wink. I want something from you, and I'm setting up where we do so much good for you, so it's time to return the favor. Okay. So this is where President Zelensky comments back. Yes, you are absolutely right. Not only 100%, but actually 1,000%. And I can tell you that the following, I did talk to Angela Merkel. I did meet with her. I also met and talked with Macron and told them that they are not doing quite as much as they need to be doing on the issues with the sanctions. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Also, we are not enforcing Russian sanctions. Trump has basically bent over and taken it from Russia. We are not enforcing the sanctions, and he has done everything he can to try and stop us from creating new sanctions for Russia, who went in and invaded another country. Okay, breathe. Okay. as much as they could. It turns out that even though ideologically the European Union should be our biggest partner, but technically the United States is a much bigger partner, bullshit, than the European Union. I am very grateful to you for that, because the United States is doing quite a lot for the Ukraine, much more than the European Union, especially when we are talking about sanctions against the Russian Federation. We're not enforcing our sanctions. Trump is not adding new sanctions. We are not doing our job when it comes to that. Bullshit. I would also like to thank you for your great support in the area of defense. This is where it gets really, really important. Now listen very carefully to the next couple of things that I am going to read. We are ready to continue to cooperate for the next step. Specifically, we are almost ready to buy more javelins from the United States for defense purposes. This is where it's set up. He wants something from the United States. He knows that he has to do something in return to get it. And this is where it gets really incriminating. No matter what you say, they want to buy javelins. They want their money. Trump immediately goes into this. I would like you to do us a favor, though, because this country has been through a lot and the Ukraine knows a lot about it. I would like to find out what happened with the whole situation with Ukraine. There was a crowd strike, been debunked. I guess you are you have one of your wealthy people, they say the whole situation. I think you're surrounding yourself with some call you or people I would like to, or hang on, I'm screwing this up. Give me a second. Sorry, my dyslexic brain. There are a lot of crowd strike. I guess Ukraine has it. There are a lot of things that went on. The whole situation, I think you're surrounding yourself with some of the same people. I would like the Attorney General of the United States to call to investigate a political grudge the president has. Okay, the Attorney General to call you or your people. I would like you to get to the bottom of it. As you saw yesterday, the whole nonsense ended with a very poor performance by the man named Robert Mueller. Okay, first off, Robert Mueller definitely found that Russia interfered with our election. Not only did he find that Russia interfered with our election, he found that Trump did everything he could to cover it up and to cover up the connections of his campaign from it. Those are just facts. I will concede that there is not enough evidence to get him on him having one-on-one talks like we have here, but he definitely colluded. And to show you how arrogant this guy is, this is literally the day after Mueller's testimony where he thinks he's safe. He's like, I'm safe. Let me go commit the same crime. Okay. Mueller, incompetent performance. But there are a lot of it started with Ukraine. Whatever you can do, it's very important that you do it if that's at all possible. So that's the first part that we're going to talk about right now. And I'm sorry that my reading is, I'm dyslexic. I don't read out loud well. But it's so important that we talk about that. He's literally sitting there in the same conversation, not 10 seconds after Zelensky talks about buying missiles and defense from them, asking him to investigate a already very debunked piece of information. It's debunked. It's been debunked several times. It keeps getting debunked. We know it's debunked. This is literally the stupidest thing ever, and it's incriminating. And then, okay, so let's go back to President Zelensky, because then we're going to get into where other people have been incriminated in this. Okay, so President Zelensky. Yes, it's very important for me to have everything that just mentioned earlier. For me as a president, it's very important that we open up for any future cooperation. We are ready to open a new page of cooperation in relations between the United States and the Ukraine. Basically meaning we are willing to investigate whatever you want us to investigate. Please just give us our money and let us buy missiles. Okay, cooperate. We are ready to open a new page and cooperate on the purposes. I just recalled our ambassador from the United States, and he will be replaced with a very, very competent, very experienced ambassador who will work hard in making sure that our two nations are getting closer. I would also like and hope to see him having having your trust and your confidence, and having a personal relations with you so we can cooperate even more so. I will personally tell you that one of my assistants spoke with Mr. Giuliani, and I will get to that in a minute, just recently, and we are hoping very much that Mr. Giuliani will be able to travel to the UK and will be able to meet once he comes to the Ukraine. I just wanted to assure you that once again, that you have nobody but friends around us. I will make sure that I surround myself with the best and most experienced people. I also want to tell you that we are friends. We are great friends. we're great friends, and you, Mr. President, have friends in our country. So we can continue our strategic partnership. I also plan to surround myself with great people. In addition to that, to investigate, I guarantee the president of the Ukraine that all of the investigations will be done openly and candidly. That I can assure you. Okay, what he's talking about when he says that he has already been in touch with Rudolph Giuliani. Giuliani has been over to that country, has been pressuring for quite a while to get information on Hunter and Joe Biden and this whole stupid Ukraine crowd server crap that has been debunked over and over and over again. And I want to be very clear, and I will make a video on it. Joe Biden and Hunter Biden have been cleared of any wrongdoing. Before that prosecutor was even fired, that investigation was done with. It was completely and totally done with. It's a non-starter. It's ridiculous. Okay. Now, all right, this is the president. This is the president of the United States. Good, because I heard a prosecutor who was very good, and he was shut down, and that it was really unfair. A lot of people are talking about that. By the way, a lot of people talking about that means the voices in Trump's head. The only people talking about it are the voices in Trump's head. The prosecutor was released for not performing the way he was supposed to, and the EU backed it. The EU wanted it. It wasn't so much a Biden accomplishment so much as it was an entire EU and an Obama accomplishment, but that's a story for a different day. It is really unfair. Okay, the prosecutor is he was I heard a prosecutor who was very good. He was shut down, and that was really unfair. A lot of people are okay. Yeah, I've already read that part. Some people. Okay, I'm just gonna read it again. A lot of people are talking about that, the way that they shut down a very good prosecutor down, and you had some very bad people involved. Mr. Giuliani is a highly respected man. He was the mayor of New York City and a great mayor. I would like him to call on you. I will ask him to call on you along with Attorney General Barr, implicating, this is where he talks about using the full force of the Justice Department to investigate a political opponent. Illegal. Rudy Giuliani very much knows what is happening, and he's a very capable guy. If you could speak to him, and that would be great. The former ambassador from the United States, the woman was bad news. The people she was dealing with in the Ukraine were bad news. So I just want to let you know, the other thing, there's a lot of talk about Biden's son. See, this is where he's, again, targeting a political opponent. He's going after Hillary. He's going after Biden. And I don't understand why he's still going after Hillary. She's not even running this year. But whatever. Biden's son. That Biden stopped the prosecution of a lot of people who wanted to find out about that. The voices in his head. So whatever you can do with that, Attorney General, would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution. So if you could look into it, it sounds horrible to me. Okay, and this is going to be the last part that I read. I promise you don't have to go through my horrible reading, but I wanted it out. I wanted it read. You can speed through it if you want, whatever. I wanted to tell you about the prosecutor. First of all, I understand, and I am knowledgeable about the situation, since we have won the absolute majority in the parliament, and the next prosecutor general will be 100% my person, meaning I'm 100% corrupt to investigate something that's a non-starter because I want my money and I want my javelins. I'm prosecuting the general election, my person and my candidate, who will be approved by parliament, and will start a new prosecutor in September. He or she will look into the situation, specifically the company that you have mentioned that has been investigated and cleared. I think you guys just saw me sneeze. Sorry. I didn't catch that in time, so maybe like I swear face, but it's okay. Approved in parliament. Okay. She's making more. Okay. Mentioned in the issue, these issues investigated the case actually in time, making sure okay. A new prosecutor in September. He or she will look into the mentioned issues. The issue of the investigation of the case is actually an issue, making sure to restore honesty, so we can take care of that, and we will work on the investigation of the case. On top of that, I would kindly ask you to have any additional information that you can provide to us. It would be very helpful for the investigation to make sure that we administer justice in our country with regards to the ambassador to the United States from the Ukraine. As far as I recall, her name was, I'm no way going to be able to pronounce that, Ivanovich. It was great that you were the first one who told me that she was a bad ambassador, because I agree with you 100%. Her attitude towards me was far from the best, and she admired the previous president, basically meaning she wasn't a crumb piece of crap. You get the general gist. If you want me to finish reading it. Admired previous president, she was not a fan. She would not accept me as a new president well enough. Okay. So, what's going on there? I read it out for you. It's clear as day. You can see where I didn't falsify it. I didn't say anything. It's actually what's in there. Yeah, Donald Trump asked for a favor to investigate a long debunked theory about Hillary Clinton. And then after that, he went into the whole Joe Biden thing where he wanted to go after his political opponent. He wanted to use another country, which is extremely illegal, to go after Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. I'm going to do a video on that, and then I can break it down. I just did this because these videos are going to be very long, and this one's already running long because it is me mostly reading horribly to y'all. Sorry about that, but that shows you in the actual thing the White House released, the president asked for a favor. A favor is a monetary value thing. He asked for monetary value to get something for his campaign. That is illegal. That is what is getting him impeached, plus the cover-up behind it, and we'll get into that in a further video. But I will see you in my next video.